Welcome back to my interdisciplinary art studio. Today I'm going to be organizing, rejuvenating, spring cleaning my painting studio as well as my fiber art studio over in the tiny house. Let's do it. Firstly, let me introduce you to Nana's desk. There is clearly a door missing, had a little accident back in the day. Okay, are you ready for the magical part? When we create the space, whether it is a big space like this or a really small corner of our room, we can create such opportunity for creativity simply by knowing ourselves and what we need personally to be creative. For me, it is essential to journal in the mornings, and this is often what cues up my sketching practice that then leads me into my studio day. This is the bookshelf that I keep all of my studio research, what I call tree search, as well as books that just inspire me. I think that this top section, I got another piece of antique furniture. This piece I bought at an antique store here in Maine, and I am renovating it from top to bottom. If people are interested, I can make a video to share my process of doing that. Ain't no thing but a polyurethane. I said that joke to Dan and he thought it was funny, but yeah. Days I'm like, I'm not painting at all today. I still end up painting. Just a little bit.
Before I got really into it, I made sure to finish up the projects that I had already had going on in the studio to make a fresh start.
I want to clear out anything that doesn't need to be in my painting space. I recently got back a few pieces from shows that I have recently had at the Triangle Gallery. The clearer things are and the less that is here to distract me, the more I can focus on what I'm doing. Throughout today, I'll give you some organizational studio tips for any type of space that you're in. All right, let's bring this upstairs and then grab some of the books that I want to use. This is where I keep all of my paintings that are not currently in shows. Anyways, I just wrap my pieces in plastic, keep them stacked up so that nothing is like touching or any corners. I'm really inspired by fantasy and children's books in general, both the drawings within them and the stories themselves. So I would love to be able to bring some of those into my studio if there's room. Oh boy, I got a little overly excited, I think. I've got another trip. I keep envisioning my oracle decks and tarot decks in these. Oh, they totally fit. So something I do to organize things in my space when applicable.
I gradate from dark to light.
This is utterly delightful. I'm so happy that I'm doing this and that this piece came into my life. I've been needing another bookshelf so badly, and I've been needing a desk. This looks like it was meant to be. Okay. Ugh. This feels like my destiny. I don't even quite know what to say. This is so perfect. Okay. I feel so lucky that I get to use something that is so special.
Even if you only have the tiniest space to work with, putting everything together that goes together. So these are all my markers that I use for my planner and all the sticky notes I use, and I keep them together.
Tech stuff is just so ugly, and so I always try to make it as cute as possible. I put a bunch of stuff in this wooden thing that is antique as well that I love. So much better about the tech stuff. I've been trying to like clean as I go as well, so wiping anything down that I have access to.
My big motivation in doing this is to prepare for filling the gallery for my solo gallery showcase.
I have all of these like paper paintings that will be in my solo show in the fall. Paint making journal. I'm just gonna pretend like that is fine. I'm not very scared of spiders. I mean, if it was like on my face, I wouldn't be happy, but I just keep everything in this one bin. I do have 2 or 3 clear folders of images that I used for specific series. I think where my strengths lie in organizing is not that I am a very naturally organized person. I was essentially a hoarder because I just saw potential in everything, and I'm such a sustainable person. I just like, you know, save stuff to make into other things. I take people's scraps.
Everything changed when my husband and I built our own tiny house and lived tiny for almost 2 years. Though I now have a large studio space, everything I learned I took from living tiny, and I hope it helps you too.
My whole life was in that 150 square foot space, and having to decide what I wanted to keep and only what really truly mattered to me was the biggest help in reducing what I had and in reducing what you have and deciding what really matters to me in my creative practice. Delete the noise and really focus on what matters. So that's honestly my biggest tip, is reducing before you try to organize. Because if there's too much stuff, the right place isn't gonna reveal itself because all the other things are in the way. Tackle the little pile. Don't leave it. You need to put it with the things that it is similar to, or that's really it. You gotta get rid of it or you gotta put it away. Keeping things in the studio that aren't necessarily useful, but that motivate you in your practice, especially if you're having a hard day, is, I think, essential. So I keep this $20 bill. My career and my livelihood is my art. And keeping this reminds me that I have actually sold paintings and I have made money and a living off of being an artist. It reminds me of how far I've come, how far I have to go, and it just gives me hope. So I keep it in my studio. When you empty organizing things that you think are pretty or could be useful, keep them until the end, and you might find that they're helpful for later in the day. I'm gonna head out to the Makers Nook and we can work on all of the fiber stuff, which will be maybe easier, maybe harder, maybe more time consuming. I have no idea. Let's go out to the Makers Nook. Every single time I come in this space, I just can't believe it's my studio. Here's the issue. This is my yarn situation. Can you identify any issues? 1, it's a big heap. 2, I can't really get back there, and I think it's getting too heavy. I went to my mom's house. This is very loud. She makes these amazing little monsters. You could check out her website. Here's my plan. I put these up on the door. Then I'll be able to see all the colors, organize everything. This had a lot of good reviews, meaning my mom thought it was good. If I can't see something, like if I can't see through the container, I will forget what is inside of it. In a lidded box, might as well not exist. Obviously, I can't always accommodate this little quirk of mine. Most people have a door, so I feel like this is great for anybody. Hello, nice to meet you. It is I. Pardon me. Thank you for your service. Do that to the other side, and then we can start grabbing the yarn.
You could organize this in so many different ways, by weight, by color, by fiber type, whatever works for you. I personally find color gradation really pleasing.
Right before we moved, I did little bundles of like small amounts. Let me take you to my shame pile. This is my heap. We're gonna do what we can. So this will be on deck. I'm not perfect. I'm not gonna make everything perfect. And I think that's important to show that I did not go through this whole thing. But eventually I will, on a day that I'm just like, I feel like organizing something and doing something mindless. But as of right now, I'm not doing it. I think this will be a great thing to pull from when I'm making something small. I can just grab from this bin first. Overflow. Maybe I shouldn't do it so high. I can't really reach that. I'm gonna put the scraps on top so then I see those and use those first. I'm not gonna zip it up because I want it to be easily accessible. I'm like doubling them up a little bit so that they're not too wide. Something with a handle is good for travel, and then just like a little basket. I have a back and forth bag. So this could be back and forth from room to room, or in my case, from studio to studio. I just have a bag that I designate to bring things back and forth. I just keep it by the door so that as I am leaving, I don't forget. Putting like with like together is a great way to minimize confusion for where something is. This can be a system that makes sense to you. Because I'm an interdisciplinary artist, so many tools that cross over between disciplines. I just have all of my small tools all together. Bring some back. I'll bring my paint making books back.
Bump a couple shoulders. I close the stall like I was. Say one thing wrong or missing fucking down when my body won't answer.
If you would like to hear about all of my fiber arts plans for the spring and summer, you can check out my June Patreon video. We still have an even bigger problem, my scrap situation. So I mostly work with scraps, so I save pretty much everything. Like this size. And then like what is this? Like, what am I doing? Oh, and you think, oh, that's terrible. That's a lot. Well, don't worry, there's more. Considering how you use the material is the most essential. I take all my scraps and I patchwork them together and make them into a bag, a garment, or a quilt, to name a few. I need to keep like with like. So lighter like quilting cottons all go together well. And then when I made this bag, I used all medium or like heavyweight fabric. Whatever project it is, putting the pieces together that are a similar weight is gonna be the most advantageous and is going to make the project kind of flow together well, even though it's made of so many different materials. Once I start this, I have to finish it. I'm going to dump out all of the scraps. You heard me. If you're like, oh, she's so organized. Everything in there is so perfect. Let me absolutely shatter that illusion. That's where this is. My lint roller's like, help me. Time lapse. Let's do it.
Make sure you grab every scrap from everywhere. Do not leave any stone unturned.
So I may have undersold how many scraps I had. These are like really tiny. You guys, like I will use these for things. Like look at, ooh, these will be great. Okay. Like what is this? What is this? Oh, it's cute. See, I'm like, ooh, what can I use this for?
I had to go in for dinner, so we picked it up the next day.
Hello, good morning. So last night Dan brought up the dresser and I organized all my clothes and it was so magical to have a dresser. I realized I haven't had one since I lived with my parents. I have just lived in such small spaces. I organized the books. I gradated it from white, green, yellow, orange and red, and lighter blue to darker blue. And then we are not finished this yet. Dan glued this, but then there's still more to do here, but I'm really excited with where I got to. I left it in such a terrifying stage. It's gonna be great. I've got a plan. Though it can seem overwhelming, getting everything out is actually going to make things easier, because if we only take things out little by little, you're just gonna end up doing the same work a bunch of times. The biggest thing to remember is you're not sorting to just sort. If you have an intention of lightening your load and getting rid of some things, it's really about choosing what you want to keep and what you will be excited to utilize in your creative practice. All of this weight is the same, so I can go in here and be like, ooh, what do I want to do? And then I'll put this with my other hardware like this. These are all very thick. These are very much heavyweight, and anything that I've already cut up that are all the same weight, I can keep together. To keep your interest, one, as you go, start to notice the patterns that have emerged. Like what are the types of fabric that you're saving? What are the color combinations? And this can guide you to your next project. Previously to this, I truly had no idea how many yellow scraps I had, and I've been really wanting to make a yellow quilted jacket and a yellow patchwork skirt, and now I feel like I have all this amazing fabric. The other thing that I do to keep things interesting is I move the pile around, just kind of reshuffling things. Even just seeing things a little bit different, I'm able to keep my interest a bit more. I've refilled this table 3 times. So like this is a lot to sort through. Ooh, like this is cool. When I check in, all of this is going to be sorted, and then I'll tell you what to do next.
We're doing a little drawing time. Me on one side, him on the other side. What are you drawing?
Gollum.
I'm back from my little nature adventure. I always just feel so much more like myself and just connected to everything that's important in life when I spend some time outside. So glad I took the time to do that. We've got our piles. Now it's time to decide based on what I already have determined is important to keep, we'll store it. So it's gonna basically be the same places that I was storing it before, but a little bit more organized. Fold up whatever you have. So don't just leave it in a heap. I eventually would like to get organizers for the inside of that bigger drawer and fold everything. What I like to do is kind of like bundle them together. If you're not willing to fold it, it might mean that you don't need to keep it. These will be my project baskets. The sun is setting on our organizing adventure. Next time I come in here, I'm gonna plan all of my spring and summer fiber arts projects for a Patreon video. So that'll be really fun. I hope this helps even in a small way to make your creative space someplace that feels generative and easeful to make art within. It's not possible to like make yourself be creative. I think you can create the infrastructure where creativity is a natural process that will occur, whether you're in a tiny space, an apartment, a tiny house, or a big home. You can create little sections of warmth and creativity and joy and beauty out of just what you have on hand. I do an art share every month for fellow makers, but I'm thinking as a little present to myself for the month of June, I'm gonna do an art share for all my free members as well. Thanks for hanging out in the studio with me. See you later. Bye.